every community needs assessment. What do you feel is the county's obligation to help resolve this issue?
That's a good question. I think we need to support whatever transportation arrangements that we can. We need to have people be able to do the things on a daily basis, whether it's come to work, come into town, go to different areas. We need that. How we go about doing that, again, finding the dollars to do that. But we need to support the transportation requirements. It's important.
Thank you. Mr. Mykrantz.
Yes, I agree it's important, but we need to distinguish two things. First, I think your question was about the responsibility. I'm not sure that the county has a responsibility, but there's a difference between responsibility and there being a need and trying to fulfill that. I know right now that out in my area of the country is if you have a medical issue, but it's not an emergency, they'll call the squad to take them to the hospital for an appointment. That really is a very expensive way to get that thing done. So we need to balance what is needed, what is being used, the cost of how we're doing business today, and then come up with a solution. I don't have the answer for you today, but I can guarantee you that's why we had a levy in Plain Township, because of the cost continually going up, and that's the only way some people have a way or to get into the hospital or wherever they need to go. So it's definitely something that needs to be looked at, but I do not believe it's a responsibility of the county.
Thank you. Mr. Carmichael.
Yeah, excuse me. I don't think it's a responsibility of the county, but, and I also think that the county does not need to get into the transportation business. I think if that needs to be done, that needs to be done by the private sector, because we just don't have the tools to do it with, number one, and the finances. But if we did do it, we'd have to raise money somewhere, take it from someplace to put it here in the transportation. So, but I think it really needs to go to the private sector.
Thank you. Mr. Wright.
Well, I live out on Bad Orf Road, and I notice Wooster Transit comes out there. And a lot of senior citizens don't drive anymore. They need ways to get to town that they don't have to depend on family because family works. Right now, I don't think it's a responsibility of the county, but somewhere in the future, I think maybe the money, some of it could be budgeted out for public transit.
Thank you. Mrs. Smail.
I also agree that I don't think it's something that the county should get into. It doesn't seem to be a winning proposition with these other companies that have tried this in Worcester. I think we need to go back to the city bus where it was 10 cents when I rode when I was younger. But we do have the Wayne Transit system, and there's got to be a way that, Worcester City or somebody could partner with them, but they're looking at budget constraints also. So I think that maybe just by these entities, Worcester Transportation and maybe others, are filling this need now, and maybe that is something that we need to look at in the future to provide transportation for those who don't have it.
Thank you. The next question is directed to the state representatives.